everyone. Welcome to the No Socks podcast. I'm here. I'm Caitlyn. This is Pat. And we're here with the mastermind behind Saphra More, Sabrina Limhow.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
How did you find the journey?
You know, it wasn't too bad. Traffic wasn't too bad. So here we are.
That's very nice. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah.
I've been curious about this, but why is your artist name Saphra More?
All right.
Sorry, because I'm like Saphra. I just used Google Dictionary. Oh, Google Translate, great Google Translate. And it's like, it came up with it detected it as like some sort of Hindi word, meaning journey, travel. I don't speak Hindi, I'm sorry. But actually, tell us about it. Why are you called Saphra More?
So I actually didn't know that. That's really cool. To be honest, the journey between me finding this personality, Saphra More, I actually sat down with Caitlyn and we went through a bit of a list because I wanted to change. I was previously Sabrina Marie, and that was literally my first name and my middle name. I was like, here we go. But I felt like I had to pick something different in order to really communicate my music and kind of let me step out of that previous life and just come into my own, really. So Saphra, really, to be honest, I was trying to find something in between the name Serafina because I really love that name. And I was also cooking a lot at the time and I like saffron spices.
She's a chef.
Oh, not barely a chef I am. But I also did a bit of a Google search because I was doing a web design class at the time and we were learning about placement on the internet for when you type in a word, what comes up. And I realized it's if I put in Saphra More, I can be the first result on Google without having to pay for it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, that's why I'm Saphra More.
So if people look you up, they're not going to have too much trouble.
That's exactly. It's pretty bad, isn't it? Maybe I should.
I mean, I kind of thought as well, it's kind of it sounds similar to Saphra More as well.
Ooh.
And it's kind of your second, because you said it's your second name. So it's your second start at your name. Well, rebranding yourself.
Yeah.
Wait, don't you have you've got a billion? don't you have a billion names?
Well, yeah. My middle names were Sabrina. So Sabrina was my first name, and then I had Marie, Rose, or something else. I know there were a lot, and then my dad got sick of them, so he's like, you know what, just pick the two that you like. And so I picked Sabrina Marie because it was the first two I could remember, and that's how I have my two middle names. Yeah. I should have picked cooler ones.
Did you know this, Caitlyn?
I mean, I did know, but it's how do you pronounce it?
Or I can't even pronounce it. That's why I never made it to my actual middle names.
How young were you?
9.
I couldn't say that at 9.
I still can't say it. I don't even. It's somewhere on one of the birth certificates that I've got. But yeah, just keep it simple. Sabrina, Marie, Rose, sorted.
And now to Saphra More.
Saphra More.
Yeah. Saphra More. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeehaw.
I'm feeling good. I just had a cup of tea. I was super nervous on my way here, because this is the first time I've done a proper podcast type thing. But thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited to do the live performance too.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We're pretty
Thank you for
excited.
being here.
No,
We're glad to have you here.
Oh, it's very cute.
Yeah. Glad you enjoyed the tea. Yeah. I'm sure the lovely people would know. You've touched so many people's lives. There's so many people. I've been blessed.
She's been touched.
Yeah, but how about
next?
Oh my god. Well, for the people who don't know, how about how'd you get into all this with your music? I know you have an extensive beautiful family of your musical family. If you'd like to, yeah.
Well, my the first person that really inspired me musically would have to be my dad. He was the biggest influence and still is to this day, the biggest influence in my life. He used to play bass, and I remember the first song that I ever learned, like not even properly learned, but I just came home singing one day and then he's like, yeah, your musical was Fat Bottom Girls by Queen. It explains a lot about my personality today. But yeah, he always really kind of taught me to be like use my musical ear and really taught me the ropes. And yeah, he actually he started playing bass from a young age too, so it was always inherent within family. And he was playing with Stevie Wonder at one point when Stevie Wonder came to Australia.
That's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's
It's so hard to follow. Like, how the hell am I ever going to top that? Never.
no, not with that attitude.
You can start
on,
now.
man.
Just like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say he really got me into music. First, he put me in a choir when I was quite young. And he used to also audition me for these talent quest shows. Like, there were so many, just like the local Dandenong Council talent quest shows. And I'd lose like every time. I never won. But it's like, yeah, keep going. You got to keep failing. And I think that was a really great way to keep me humble because I saw everyone else. I was like, oh, God. But I joined Southern Voices Choir when I was about 9. And I had been in there for like 15 years. Oh, God, that's showing my age.
wait, so 15 years.
Or maybe less.
I guess
don't
you can't
know.
ask when you started. But
Maybe not 15 years. I could be counting wrong. I just kind of...
We're musicians, not mathematicians.
Exactly.
do you remember like when your first, I guess, like performance or kind of gig was, and what was that? What was that like?
Ooh.
Was that with like the Southern Voices Choir? Or besides the talent quest shows?
Like solo or...
Yep, solo. Yeah.
I think when I joined the choir, I got really comfortable singing in big groups. So I didn't really perform solo until I was 12 or 13. I took part in the Casey... There was a initiative in the Casey Council where you write a song. It was like the worst song that I've ever written because it was my first song. But you write a song and like you enter to get into this CD and it's like all the rage. And I managed to get onto the CD and I did a live performance. I think that was my first initial live performance.
Where can we find this CD?
Yeah. Come on.
Very, very deep below the ground.
No.
Nah, there's some amazing artists that I still keep in touch with today.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that would have been my first initial performing. It's really scary when you perform by yourself for the first time.
Yeah.
Like,
Because you would have been, you accompany yourself when you perform. And so you've been doing that right from the beginning?
yeah, actually. So I started playing guitar out of spite because my dad was always of the mind if I was going to be a musician and because I'm a girl, I should stand up the front and sing and just perform. And he always had this idea that girls can't play guitar.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So I got mad and I was like, nah. So I picked up the guitar and started learning at quite a young age. I kind of like learn in secret and I was like, we used to go to this music shop in Dandenong out the back, like in the Hub Arcade called Alabenlo Music. It's still there, so you should go check it out. But one of my good friends there, George, who owns it, he taught like flamenco guitar. So I learned...
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned like a little bit of flamenco from him and I just learned in secret and then...
Oh.
Yeah.
And how was your dad's reaction when you were like, check this out, Daddy-o. Look at me go.
Like strumming everything.
Well, it was so funny because like when I showed him, he was kind of taken aback, kind of like he wasn't expecting it. And then ever since, he'd just be like, all right, now you go play on this stage. Go show my friends what you can do every 5 seconds.
Wow.
But yeah, it was really cool. We also used to go to an open mic night called the Green Table in Dandenong. And that was like, we'd go late at night, maybe at 7 o'clock, and you'd go driving and it's completely dark. And so I was like, oh, this is like real Dodge, Dad. Bad idea. And then you rock up and it's like all the most friendly people there like playing. And that really built up my confidence. I met a lot of people through that.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Stevie Wonder, that's crazy. So that's a lot of like funk and soul, and because I think you've listed yourself on Spotify as R&B,
R&B, was
rock.
there rock
There's
as
some
well?
rock in there. You're quite a versatile musician.
thanks.
I would say. I don't think there's anything you can't do. Really?
Who would you say like inspired you? Like as like, would you like if you had to maybe use like, I don't know, list a couple names.
Yeah, like
that, like,
genres, artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Queen would have to be up there alongside Stevie Wonder. The two biggest inspirations. And then a bit of Deep Purple, because Dad would always play that really late at night, and so it's just in my head.
You were sleeping and absorbing all the music.
Everything. And then I think Beyonce and Liana La Havas. I just love how their voices sound like chocolate, and just
Ooh.
I'm thinking about chocolate right now.
Chocolate.
Oh shit. We didn't bring any. I'm so sorry.
I'm so upset. I'm gonna leave. No.
Oh.
There was a chocolate donut before.
Oh wait, that's a good point. Oh yeah. We ate donuts.
Yeah.
There's none for you. Sorry.
Sorry. We'll bring more.
I mean, if you come to our podcast, you know, like
Good.
you could just eat a donut or two.
It's
It'd be fine.
It's the kind of service that we provide here.
Yes. Okay, Brandon, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Brandon. Sorry about
We
that.
just invited ourselves over to have more donuts.
Yes, please.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh.
So I was doing some snooping.
Oh dear.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Sleuth.
So you recently on your Instagram page you sent some, I guess, like 3 songs for the Casey Chambers songwriting competition.
Yeah.
And that was like, in case you guys don't know, it's for or Casey Chambers. How do I put this? She put out a competition to pretty much send in a song, and whoever wins that competition will have a whole EP just mixed and released. Yeah, that's how it works, right? And yeah, I guess this is kind of awkward because it's like kind of already after the fact that finished. But yeah, how did you go?
How did I go about writing the songs for it, or?
Well, I mean, because you said in like the comments section that you put like, I'm interested in this fact because the first one you said that you wrote with like words, like you got a bunch of friends. Was Kate? I don't know if Kate was in that. But you got a bunch of random words and then you drawed them out and then it's like, there we go, we have this song. And then the second one was like, Medusa,
Yeah,
Greek mythos.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
the third one's Golden Hour at the beach. So I'm just like, that's a very
yes.
That's a very like varied approach of like subjects. So like
To songwriting.
yeah, so I'm just curious as to like how do you
Level
what
of
draws
inspiration.
you? Yeah, the inspiration is
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
So with the first one, I can talk through all 3 of these actually because all 3 of them, the way I wrote them was quite different. The first one, I actually learnt the technique from my songwriting teacher, Alex Gow. If you're watching this, thank you for teaching me almost everything. I know, I appreciate it. Essentially what I did was I opened up 2 random books and I just picked 30 words.
Okay, yep.
And I highlighted them, put them into like a little column, and then I just started putting them into a song and trying to fit it so it all like worked really well. And I actually used this technique for the first song that I did upload. And then my chord progression, because I always start with a chord progression before I start with the lyrics.
Right.
So it's always just like find the chords and then fit the lyrics to the chords. But that was the first song, and I actually used that as part of it. I have a little challenge going on with my friends at 1809 Coffee Shop.
Another shout out. Ooh.
All these shout outs are happening. But we actually did a little challenge where we picked like a word in a hat and a key, and every week we'd like create these songs just from these 2 random things that we picked.
Right.
So I did that with them, and this was the song that I also picked the 30 words for and tried to fit in. So that was song number 1. The second song, which one was that?
The Medusa one, the Greek, yeah, where you're just like, that's a badass woman. Yeah.
So that one I wrote in the a couple months ago, I guess. And I actually was inspired by my teacher Stevik from 12 Foot Ninja at the time. He really got me to look into my songwriting and really look at the way that I was constructing my words. And with that song, I was inspired to recreate the story of Medusa from her perspective. And because a lot of people just like pin her as the villain. And I think my friend Geordie was telling me the story of how she was actually gifted the snakes in her hair as a way to protect herself because she got raped. And so I kind of ran with that, and I was like, okay, so if she's this like thing to be scared of and to like bring terror, like that's pretty cool that she has this powerful, like she's just this all-powerful being.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create like a song that really represented this idea that she is all powerful and she's got the power. Because I think like, yeah, I think that's really important today, especially that these things are highlighted. So for me, that was what Medusa was about. Yeah, and then Primrose Sands, I actually, that was another technique. I wrote it to a picture, and it was a bird's eye view of the ocean. And it was like a black and white picture that Alex Gow took and gave to our class to do. Like, well, just gave us a whole bunch of pictures to write a song to. So that was the bird's eye view of the ocean. I was thinking at that time, if it was in colour, like would it be like 4 or 5 o'clock, you know, the golden hour where everything's cast in pink? So the sounds are kind of like a primrose rosy colour.
Yeah. That's why it was called Primrose.
Yeah.
What was
Primrose Sands.
Primrose? Yeah, okay, Primrose Sands, yeah.
Yeah.
that definitely was on the caption, yeah.
Yeah. But I'll be performing that later, so you guys get to hear it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And how has, you know, your songwriting changed like over the years? Because you've been writing for a very long time, and like you were saying just then,
amount of time, but we won't say. But a long time, yeah.
long time, and you know, like with what you were saying about how, you know, wanting to, you know, you talk about issues that you consider important, and you've got a lot of songs that are like, I'm a badass woman, and which I love, you know, fantastic. And how, you know, when did you really tap into that? Like, what was the first thing you were writing about? How has, you know, things shifted? Yeah, over time. That's a big question, because you've probably wrote at least 100 songs. Like,
well, I feel like I've written a lot more recently since we've been living together. Oh, we're housemates.
Yeah, maybe we should have kicked it off with that. It's been a long time. Is it almost 4 years?
You can be in the house too.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that I started out trying to emulate the stories that I heard on the radio. This is when I was like 12, 13. And like all the way till 17, I just kind of would listen to these songs and listen to the story and then try and write it in my own style from my own perspective.
Sorry, what kind of stories are we talking about?
Oh, like, you know, the classic, like, oh, I'm so alone. My boyfriend broke up with me and now he's with someone else, sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
all of those.
So a lot of love.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, traffic problems, like traffic accidents.
Stuck in traffic.
I really should have. That would have been so good. Oh, but it was so like starting out, it was very much like that sort of stuff, like lovey-dovey shit, you know.
Right.
And then
As
when
everyone does.
everyone
Everyone does that.
But like I think when I was 19, 20, when we moved to get in together, I started writing about more interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Well, at least more interesting to me, like making use of everyday situations and kind of bringing them to light. There are a lot of, because I used to write from a really detached place because I used to find it really hard to express my feelings. I still find it hard to express my feelings. Who am I kidding? But I think towards the 19 mark, 19, 20, 21, I started actually writing about things that mattered to me and things that were happening in my life. So my songs get a lot more personal the older I get.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I try to look through the back door. I always try to go in through the back door and find a different entrance every time with my songs instead of just coming in from where you'd expect it.
Lots of different perspectives.
Yeah. And it, like, I love the ones that you'll hear later in the set, like, I really love to write about things that have happened to me and that could have possibly happened to other people, because I think it's important to highlight these things. I think a lot of things are important, dear God. But yeah, I think, especially since attending Collarts, because I was inspired by you, actually, a lot. Like, if you don't know, this is Ads Noggin, I bet you already know. But you're an insane writer, and I have been heavily inspired by you to like continue my craft.
I appreciate that.
No, but yeah,
That's been good.
that's what I love to do.
I'm pretty privileged to know a good chunk of repertoire. You only know the smash hits, Flirting Like That, and That Girl Is Poison on Spotify, but there's a lot out there.
Oh dear.
Please, why isn't Spotify getting more love?
Yeah.
Like it's feeling a bit lonely. Like, where's all this? Grace it with all your content. You're a busy bee. You've got work going on with Dan and
Yes. So Dan James Johnson is my producer for my next EP that will be coming out. I actually have an EP coming out. I've been spending time trying to find the right assortment of songs to give to you guys, because I think, you know when you write 100 songs and you pick 10? That's what's been happening in my world. I've just been writing and writing until I could find the perfect 10 to put together.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, like, do you guys must face the same thing.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sort of planning out. I'm planning out like I've like recently, Brandon and Caitlyn would know, I've kind of gone through this sort of phase of like, I wasn't going to release these songs, but now I might release these songs. So that will be an EP that we're hopefully releasing soon. I won't say when, but until I actually have a definite answer. But then I guess this other album that I had, which with some of the newer songs I've been most recently been working on, I have kind of a concept for that album. So I guess that's where I'm just like writing, I like loose, for those songs I haven't written yet, just loose ideas of what I might want for this certain track that I'm
Yeah.
So it's a bit different from the old pick 10 system. From 100. I definitely like that's a I just think it's a crazy feat though, right? Like, because Caitlyn like probably like write 100 songs and then choose 10 of them.
Well, It's difficult. Very, very difficult.
Don't worry, there's
music.
not 10 songs on the EP. There's probably like 5 or
I mean,
6.
if you had 10 songs, they'd all be like 2 minutes each.
Just straight. Oh, man.
Even then, like 2 minutes. Yeah, we like 20. Yeah, 20 minutes for like 2 minutes. Sheesh.
Sheesh. Oh, man.
Again.
One thing I'm curious about is because you said you go to Collarts and what's that journey been like going from like of going to like I guess a tertiary music institute like is there anything that you feel like you didn't know about like the industry or just even yourself as a musician and then going to Collarts really like in what ways have you grown I guess after going to Collarts or you're still attending there so yeah
To be honest, there was so much I didn't know and so many people that I hadn't met yet. So I was going to La Trobe and I was studying like a business degree before Collarts. And I had kind of, at that time, because my late father, he'd passed away. And at the time, while I was studying business, I'd kind of put music to bed for a little bit. And so for me, Saphra More, like the identity of Saphra More really came the first year of me being at Collarts in 2019. And I was kind of inspired because I just moved out and I was finding my feet and I saw Caitlyn going to Collarts and I was like seeing what she was learning and what she was doing. And at that time, I had just had like a really close group of friends from choir, and like some other gigging friends from here and there, but not anyone, like not really a massive circle of music friends, just mainly like my choir people. And I kind of felt like I really wanted to branch out and meet some more people and just like get a bit more of a feel. Because I'm a big believer you got to kind of try and work in your industry if you want to be in your industry, even if it's like really, really small, like any gig, just try and... Yeah,
it's a hustle.
It's totally a hustle.
Music's a hustle, isn't it?
I don't know many people who have known the hustle as much as you. Like Sabrina used to. You were before you got into Collarts. Like, oh my god, you blow me away. She's so sociable.
Business degree as well.
The first
a business degree hustle.
The first time I met Sabrina, I just moved out, and she'd come over to the house, and we were making pizzas.
Oh man!
And she said to me, she was like, "Oh, she was basically like, oh, do you need anything?" She's like, "This is that," and I was like, "Oh, you've been here before? You know everyone?" And you're like, "No, never been here." So Sabrina is the kind of person who
makes myself right at home.
like I've been living there for like how long? Like a week, 2 weeks? I don't know.
I think you moved in 2 weeks before I did.
Well, I think I'd been there for 2 weeks and maybe 2 weeks later you moved in. But and you were like, "Oh, you like music?" It's like, "Oh, I really like music too." And we were like, "You know what? Like no matter what happens, we made a pact. We'll move out together." Like it was a crazy time.
Such a crazy time.
But oh my god.
And here you are.
It's so much fun. Like that's been such a big thing. Is there's a lot of music in the house and like sing about anything really.
Yeah. Well, actually, one of the songs that is coming out on the EP that you'll get to hear, Spaceman's Wife, I actually wrote in response to one of Caitlyn's songs, Spaceman Band, which hopefully will they get to hear it.
Oh, surely.
I mean, I'm excited to hear that because I know the actual Spaceman's band.
If someone's gonna play drums for it, it's hard find another Louis which is just depressing. Which is he's a good friend of ours, great guy.
If you're watching, Louis, hello.
We love you so much. But yeah, he just brings things to life.
But I think that's been one of the biggest highlights. Like living with other musicians has really helped me grow and like writing that song in response to you I was going to talk about it because I'm really excited about it. I really love Spaceman's band. And with Caitlyn's song, she's got an opening riff, and I decided to write from the opposite perspective. So the Spaceman, she writes from the Spaceman's perspective.
He's like, it's like, man, like my wife leaves me, like no one believes that like I have what it takes to get to space. Dude, I just want to get to space. And so Sabrina wrote from the perspective of the wife, who's like, you know, you're watching this person be consumed by this passion, like I have to get to this thing, this goal, like this. It's the moon.
Is it like a brum moment?
A little bit.
Bruh, really?
I thought you said brum, like, you know, the brum, that little car.
But
Listen to you.
no, I just because that's exactly what I wanted to capture, and so her opening riff, I've reversed it, and I've
Retrograde.
and I've just like used these chords and like mentioned some of the things in her song about like the 3 kids and like use the same universe. Just because I really love that song so much. So I'm a bit of a nerd. I was like, I want to be part of this universe. Let me in.
We're each other's fangirls. It's nice.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I had to say about Spaceman's wife. I'm happy now.
Okay, that's it. Bye, everyone. Oh, what else have you... Oh, wait. Have you released a track listing for your EP, or are you still...
I have the listing in my head, kind of. I haven't released anything because I just want to kind of surprise everyone when it comes. Okay. I really want to put together a band. I've got to put together a band. It's a lot of effort though.
Is this like a opening like for our viewers just to go? Yeah, I mean, I might want to be a part of that band.
Do you want to?
You want to be part of my
time with this gal?
I've got some amazing musicians who I've got in mind for my band. But obviously, if you're keen, like, slide in my DMs, do it.
I mean, you're a very, very collaborative person too. Like,
yeah, I'm actually, I got some exciting gigs coming up.
Ooh. Yeah. Tell the people.
Well, for New Year's, I'm singing BVs with, I'm singing BVs for Renee Nakari, and she will be supporting the Veronicas. So I'm so excited at Let Go Fest. If you're there, you might see me.
That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be so
that's
cool.
Good. That's going to be so good. Holy shit.
But it's so good, like seeing so many of my peers and friends like going and reaching out and doing these things. Like, it really makes me think, okay, I got to get my shit together. I need to get my band together. Got to start gigging, and yeah, I'm just seeing
the hustle once again.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I just.
You also have I guess when this podcast comes out, it'll be after this live show, so yeah.
Wednesday.
Hello from the future. So yeah, but tomorrow or Tuesday night, you're also performing as well, right? A gig.
Yes. So tomorrow night, I'm doing a gig with Indigo Hugh. I'm singing as her BV. It's a really cool story. I actually went to Cafe 1809 and met these two, the most amazing musicians ever, Maddie and Grayson. Like, they're insane. That's actually who I'm doing the songwriting challenges every week with, where we like pick a random key and a random thing, put it in a hat, and just like go. It's like, and we give each other feedback. It's been the best thing ever. But yeah, I'm performing with them. By the time everyone sees this, I guess tonight.
Yeah, tonight. Yeah.
Gosh.
I mean, are we going to release it before 8 o'clock? Is it? Or when's the? What time is the gig?
I think she's at 8.
8?
I'm pretty sure she. Okay. I should know. I'm in the band.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out next morning when we wake up.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
Hopefully we release it by then. And hopefully you guys. Well, I mean, we'll still do a shout out anyway, like later to full live show. But yeah.
Hell yeah.
Busy bee, very busy bee. No. How do you balance like all, you know, you have all your creative projects going. How do you balance that alongside uni and trying to be alive, all that good stuff. Like how?
With great difficulty.
Yeah.
Nah, like I'm not going to lie, I'm not the most organized person ever. And I often find myself getting everything together just as I need it. But it has been tough. I need a really good calendar. I tried to find these like 2-month calendar things that would just help me organize my life. Because there's a lot of things going on, and sometimes I try to put it in my phone and then I forget to press save so it doesn't stay in my phone.
Oh no. So organizational tips, press save.
Press save.
Yeah.
But like, how do you guys keep up? Give me tips, please. Like,
I mean,
Why
don't you just use it? Why don't you just use? Oh man, I'm not that organized either. But
Are you sure?
I mean, if save is your problem, just get some sort of calendar system that doesn't require a save and auto saves.
but then I had a diary and then I forget it.
I'm a real paper person as well. And sometimes if I'm like, maybe I'll just take a picture of it. Because, I don't know. I try to bring it with me. Like, the trick is make the diary, like, the right size. Just, no matter what you have, always have a bag big enough for that. Always have paper on you. I mean, that's my favorite, like, writer's thing. Like, just this. Yeah, how do you feel about, you know, there's writing in your notes, writing on the computer, writing by hand. Like, what comes the most naturally to you when it comes to songwriting? That's just a personal question.
I love that segue.
Yeah.
That was a really good segue.
So just like, I guess if just to sum it up, so either paper or electronically, I guess, right? Is the question?
Yeah, but it's
When
like,
you come up with your ideas and
yeah. Now, what kind of programs do you use, or when you're demoing? Do you voice memos? Do you do full fleshed out ones sometimes? How does it happen for you when you've got an idea? How are you going to bring it to life? And how does your brain,
Well, I'm a very, very paper person as well. I love pens. I spent $40 at Officeworks on pens.
I've seen the pens. That's right. You showed me a big handful.
And I'm very picky with my pens.
are they
So
just different pens as well, or like are they just all the same pen?
they're like they are a collection, but I'm very specific. So it has to be the 1.0 millimeter, and it has to be a rollerball or like a gel ink because they just glide along the paper.
I get that. Yeah, like yeah, because if you get anything under like 1. Like 0.6, anything lower than I'm no.
Yeah, literally.
It just feels like you're just like scratching the paper, right?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's,
And I really love when I feel like with handwriting as well, there's just something about the pressure that you apply with your pen that like captures a moment when you were writing a word and captures that feeling, because never again when you write that same word, I feel like all the hours up until that point when you're writing that word, like, and all those experiences, they encapsulate into the paper, and it's like a time capsule. Whereas like when you're kind of typing, I find it a bit hard to connect with the music or words because it's kind of like I can just accidentally shake my phone and delete all my notes.
That's true. Yeah.
But with paper, it's just there and it's printed, and the coffee stain from when you had a coffee with 1 sugar and decided it tasted terrible is still on the paper.
Yeah, so you'll remember that.
That was real artsy. I'm so sorry.
That's how you do it, guys.
I mean, I wanted to say this earlier, but it's kind of like even listen, like I'm still thinking about those 3 songs that you wrote for Case Chambers like competition. It's like it's kind of like a poet's like a very poetic kind of approach. Just write whatever inspiration takes you, and then also this whole idea of just like writing in like on a paper to like create like a cap. It's effectively a time capsule.
I write on my scroll.
Writing on my scroll. We're romantic poets now.
It's a lot less romantic than what I wish I could just have. I want to write with a fountain pen, but I keep ripping the paper or it just doesn't come out. So I'm really bad with that.
Maybe next time.
But that's so nice. That's such a lovely compliment. I think
I just think about the fact that like I used to write. I have like a couple of journals. Like my sisters would get me journals.
Oh,
and because I'm like, yes, journals, writing stuff. And now I just can't write in them because I just...
You type too much?
it's a bit of that, but it's also just... I just use OneNote. So I'll get away with that, or like some sort of thing, because I find that I'd like to think that carrying a pen and paper everywhere would be really cool and nice.
Yeah.
But pockets just don't agree with that.
You need a satchel.
I need a satchel, but I don't want to carry a satchel everywhere. Like,
What if
going
you
around
like
everywhere?
lose your
It's not,
phone
have a
though?
purse.
it's not about the hustle.
He's not about the
It's not
hustle.
about the hustle.
I mean, your phone's going to probably stay with you. You're going to have it everywhere, right?
No.
What if it runs out of battery?
What if you
Paper?
drop it in
Charge
the
it.
ocean?
Yeah, but like,
Oh, did that happen?
Yeah,
oh, you know, that's a good point.
Is it the same beach?
Oh,
Yep,
Sabrina.
it's somewhere. We were in Cairns for a little bit, and I had my phone, and then I was getting off like this boat thing onto a pier, and then it just went straight in. Straight in.
Bye.
I lost all my songs, all my banking, all my photos, and just everything. Like,
That's so sad.
I guess.
that's why I don't trust it.
I guess in that sense, it would be pretty traumatizing.
We all sent you a video after that, and Jared filmed it, and we were all like, me, Jared, and Sherry, they're just like, what did you do? All you sent was, I dropped my phone in the ocean or something, and it's like, how does that happen? But also, of course, it happened to you. You know.
Of course. That shit always happens to me.
Sabrina, you have some interesting luck at times.
Oh yeah.
I want to say one of my favorite things is that like I have the privilege, the treat of knowing.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, no, it's fine.
Creative knowledge. Right.
But okay, so maybe not as much at the house right now, but definitely the last one. Sabrina loves to dance. Like, she is so good at dancing. Have you ever seen her on stage? Well, you should tonight. Anyway, but the point is, she loves to dance, and every now and then,
Oh, no.
like there was this period of time where you would always go to bed at like 2 a.m. or 3. Anyway, but I'd be like, okay, good night, I'm going to bed or whatever. You're like, I'm going to stay up and have a dance party. And this one time,
Oh no, I know exactly what you
yeah.
Go on.
Oh, no, you should tell it.
Wait, no, tell her just in case it's because there's been many times. She says there's one time, but there's quite a few times.
Sabrina was dancing and in the dark, and she steps barefoot on a snail, and I don't know how it got. It was a slug, wasn't it?
I was like, that's wet. That's weird. There shouldn't be anything because we just had like the worst rainstorm.
I don't know.
And like these, for some reason,
Why were they? I don't understand.
because it was like this phantom snail that we kept seeing like snail trails around, and we're like, what the fuck? Where is this
in your
thing?
house or like on
Yeah.
the outside, inside your house? Okay,
It got
right.
in, and we didn't even know. But we like because Perk saw it first. He saw like the
The silver.
Yeah.
It's like, it must be somewhere. And then Sabrina was the unfortunate soul that found
at 2 a.m.
the snail with her foot.
That was the worst.
Oh my God, but it's so funny. Oh my gosh.
I still,
Thinking though, do you end up killing the snail if you just step right on it?
I mean,
Or does
if
it
you
like
got
kind of?
stepped on by
I know,
foot,
but like,
I
'cause
mean-
you know how like the like kind of like, I guess I'll say gooey. It's not the right word, but
Ew.
like, you
it
know,
was
'cause
gooey. It was gross. It
But,
was
like-
bad.
it doesn't just. It's not malleable to the point where it can just like withstand your pressure. It's, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, it was a Britney Spears song.
Ooh.
is that the first time you did it, or
Stomping pretty hard? Yeah.
Well, that's the first time I ever experienced it firsthand. Do not recommend. But yeah, I have dance for Britney Spears, and it's not the most gentle dance ever. It's definitely
I know. You're fierce.
well, nah.
Oh, she's fierce, guys.
Can't
Only
comment.
walking at night.
Oh, yeah. This is not. Oh, I'll tell you what. This one time, I was walking. We would both do the same lap. It was a big lap, and for some reason, I think we both like to walk at night because it's like no one's there.
No
But
COVID.
I see this figure coming towards me in the dark, and I wish I could show you the walk, but it's like
I'm so glad
it's-
she can't.
and I was like, oh shit, okay. I was a bit scared, and I was like, okay, all right. I was preparing, And then I realized it's Sabrina, and she's walking towards me, and I was scared of her. And I saw her, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know.
Well, I feel like, you know, being a girl and walking at night,
yeah.
you kind of gotta.
We have the same kind of thing as well with the mugging thing, which maybe please don't mug us.
Don't.
This is our
Just don't.
secret. You have to look really powerful and like, you gonna mug me?
Like,
Yeah, you want to mug me? Look how tough I am. Fuck you.
like
you
Jaw.
Please.
Jaw.
please enlighten them. Like this
You
is
got the swear jaw.
truly.
that's switch. Oh,
Yeah, sorry, guys.
man. I think, like, when I walk at night, because it'd usually be like 1 or 2 a.m. or something, because I don't like walking with people. I hate it.
Loves people, doesn't like walking with people.
Is it because you have to like match their pace?
Yeah, but also I think because I'm working in retail at the moment, everyone just kind of dawdles around and takes their time and has like their 10 million kids with them in the shopping centre, and I just want to get to A to B.
So like, but you're working retail in like a shop, but that's in a shop though, is it? Or are you talking about like just in general?
Oh, just in general.
Okay.
So like
Who's walking outside like around the neighborhood, like dawdling around?
When you're
those two
time
different
poor,
things?
it feels nice to go fast.
It
Gotta go
does.
fast,
It
man.
does.
Like, yeah,
catch them all.
yeah. And also, like, you're listening to your tunes. Like, okay, what's your chef's kiss? Your optimal. You're walking. It's 2 a.m., 1 a.m., whatever time it is, and yeah. What are you listening to?
That's if she even listens to music as she walks.
Oh yeah, she does.
Okay, well, because you'd know.
I'm sorry. Like, you see Sabrina walk. She's listening to something.
Is she also walking like she was at night?
Oh yeah. No, look, I think you dial it down in the daylight, but
Oh, definitely.
but you always know it's Sabrina.
because I'm coming charging. Just my head
Yeah.
is like, nah. Oh, I think, to be honest, recently it's been Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh yeah.
I do love a little bit of bad bitch energy. I love it. But yeah, like, in saying that though, I don't know if anyone else does this, but you kind of got like in your head, you kind of think like, oh, no one can fuck with me, sort of thing, just to get through. Because it's I'm a wuss, man. I'm a fucking wuss. Like, so if I don't hype myself up in my head, being like, yeah, no one's gonna touch me, I'm tough as, then I can't do it. I can't.
Oh, but when you're on the phone though. Or if there's a scary call to be made, or if there is this one time, if there is coriander to be returned, she's gonna step up to the plate. Like you embody this very fierce mum energy, and you're like, that's not right. That shit's not right. I'm gonna get this done.
Oh man.
And I'm very grateful for that. I think they gave us a refund for like $3.
We got that $3 refund. It's not.
Something like that.
I'm not a Karen.
Just not a Karen.
Just referencing, not a Karen.
Just
Just
like
in
if you
case.
need someone to fight for you, you will fight. Like you might say you're a wuss, but I think you're a fighter. Like
Well,
Christina, I can't. Can you do any impressions?
oh no, they're
shall
pretty
I?
bad. Actually, I sang Christina, "You Are Beautiful," that song for my X Factor audition when I was in.
Oh wait, you saw
In the
okay.
X Factor.
Was this part of your talent
Go on,
quest show like arc?
Well, it was a little bit after. So in high school, I think like in year 11, I auditioned for the X Factor and I made it to boot camp.
Booyah.
So that was during that period of time. God, it's like it's like a different lifetime away. Just trying to remember all these things. But during that period as well, I did take part in Songmakers and I recorded a song with, like, they had these people come to our school, Ilan Kidron from the Potbellies and Evermore, John Hume from Evermore. And he, like, helped us co-write these songs. So we luckily got to do that in groups in, like, year 12. And also a really cool fact, actually, I think it's really cool. So from year 8 to year 11, when they stopped, we did this Kool Skools program where we'd record music every year. And every year we do the songs and I'd never win. And I didn't know Caitlyn was also in this Cool Schools program. She didn't even come to like the awards ceremony, and this bitch won pretty much 3 times, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, she did.
No, I won once. I just recorded like 3 years, and in year 12, I was climbing up a mountain that day, and I get a message from my friend, and they're like, "Oh well, it's not a message, it's a."
What
He's like, "Hey, you won," and I was like, "Wow." Anyway, but we like to keep Sabrina keeps a marketing degree above, it's like front and center in the lounge room. We got Sherry. Shez has got she's got her degree, and
her Collarts and is it Collarts one there? Yeah.
yeah, Collarts one, and I've put up my Cool Schools award. And every time Sabrina sees it, she's like, "Hey, but no, there's a video. Go and search this up now. There's a video of Sabrina, and she's performing at Cool Schools. So good, so good.
You know what you should also search up?
Oh no.
Hey,
You know what you should also search up really is Saphra More, and like and subscribe to, I don't know, just follow her on Spotify. Hopefully she has some new stuff soon.
She's on TikTok
and her Facebook
as well.
page, and TikTok as well.
Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah. And don't forget to also like and subscribe our podcast.
No Socks Podcast.
No Socks Podcast.
Yeah,
You know,
do
for
that.
No Socks, we're all wearing socks.
Do we not meant to show the feet?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they
My
saw your
socks are
feet
cute,
like
though.
ages ago.
Oh,
And, like,
my
shuffled.
knee clicked. Did you get that?
Yikes.
Nothing more to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Anytime, I will come again.
We're just gonna do like the same thing again, like last time. Just if you have an EP that you're releasing, we can. Yes, we have some plans as for Luke as well in 2 weeks' time. But yeah, if you have anything you want to show on a platform, go ahead. On this platform.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys cookies that I made last week. Really cool. And I'll show you my E EP.
That can just be the thumbnail for like your your live show.
Ooh,
Cookies.
ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Otherwise,
Wow.
that's been this podcast
Oh,
with Saphra More. Yeah.
ooh, yeah.
Bye.
Wow. Goodbye.